Welcome back. My name is Ilza. I'm the Gap Pastor here at Gracepoint, and it is awesome to be together with you once again. Maybe this is your first time. If you are joining us at Gap, maybe you're grade 4, and this is the first year that you get to join us at Gap. So a big welcome to you. It is so great to have you. If this is your first time, I would love to get to know who's watching. Because I can't be in your home watching with you, please won't you leave a comment for me and let me know who you are, maybe what your name is, your first name, and what grade you are in. I would love to know, and then I can get a hold of you and reply to your comments. So please do let me know where you are watching from. If you are carrying on and you are joining with us from last year into this year, maybe this is grade 5 or grade 6 for you, it is great to be back with you guys. This series is called #Followers because we're looking at the life of Jesus and also his followers and what this tells us about how we as Christians, as followers of Jesus, how we should be living in the example of Jesus and his followers. And so we're going to have a look at this teaching that we did a couple of years back because it is so important and relevant for us today as young Christians. How do we start off a year on a good note? How do we live as followers of Jesus? At the end of this teaching, you will see that we have a time where we speak about liking, subscribing, and leaving comments. That means if you go to the bottom of this video, there is a block where you can leave a comment for us. If you would like to like this video, it means you really do enjoy it. Give us a thumbs up. Click on that thumbs up. If there's something that you're not quite sure about and you want to ask a question, please pop it in the comments for us, and we will definitely get back to you and answer your question. And then there's a button that says subscribe. If you hit the subscribe button, you'll get a notification to say, hey, your next Gap video is ready. Come and watch it with us. And then at the end as well, there is a link in the comments for you to your activity. There's always an activity that is prepared for you with these videos so that you have something to do, something fun to look at, and some craft or an activity to do. So please do have a look at that as well as on our Gracepoint website. Let's head into some worship now with our worship team. Sometimes we've got worship with our adult team, with our cross-culture team, or even some old and familiar faces, or for some of us, some unfamiliar faces as they lead us in worship. And so we're going to head into a time of worship now, and then we're going to get into our message. And so I'll see you guys later. Bye!
Good morning, church. It's so good to be here with you this morning. We're going to worship together, so come on, let's sing it out. When night has fallen and fear is coming, still you're calling me. When faith is lost and my hope exhausted, you will be my strength. When my mind says I'm not good enough, God, you're enough for me. I've decided I'm not giving up, 'cause you won't give up on me. You won't give up on me. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo in my soul. In every season, you keep repeating promises to me. Now there's no stopping what you've started until it is complete. When my mind says I'm not good enough, God, you're enough for me. I've decided I'm not giving up, 'cause you won't give up on me. You won't give up on me. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo in my soul. decided I'm not giving up. You won't give up on me. You won't give up on me. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo. Come on, church. 'Cause your love is holding on and it won't let go. 'Cause I feel it breaking out, breaking out. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo, echo in my soul. Echo in my soul.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Gap Gracepoint Online. Today is episode 2 of our #followers series as we carry on and we have a look to see how the life of Jesus and the life of his followers model for us how we should be living as followers of Jesus in today's life. And so today we look at follow and care. So stick with me as today we look at the story of Jesus caring for a widow. Our story for today comes from Luke 7 verse 11 to 17. And we look at how Jesus stopped a funeral. In our story today, we really see a time where Jesus had compassion and took the time to care for someone. He and his disciples were in the countryside near a town called Nain, and suddenly they saw a great commotion happening in the streets of that town. There was a funeral procession that was happening, which means that people were walking with a coffin and the family of someone who had passed away. Imagine being in that crowd and trying to catch glimpses of the conversations that were happening to try and find out what happened and who died and how their person passed away. And so the disciples drew closer to the crowd to listen to some of the conversations. Imagine one of the conversations went, "That older woman walking around crying so hard, that must be the mother. Shame, that poor old lady. She first lost her husband and now her son. She's a widow and now she's lost her son as well." Some of the disciples must have thought, too bad that we only got here after the young man died. If we'd gotten here earlier, maybe Jesus would have been able to heal the young man before he died, heal him from his sickness. And so they thought there was no hope. But Jesus came close to the widow and he said to her, "Don't cry." Imagine the reaction of the crowd. Someone saying to someone who has just lost the person they really loved to death, saying, "Don't cry." They must have thought Jesus was quite insensitive and didn't really care for this woman. But he said to her, "Don't cry," because he knew what was going to happen next. He went up to the coffin and placed his hand on it. Now that already in itself was a shocking thing to do, and it showed how much Jesus cared for this woman. You see, in their culture, if you touched something that had to do with death, you would be seen as unclean and you would not be able to go into the temple to worship God. And so Jesus risked himself being unclean just to touch this coffin. And then he also said, "Stand up." Stand up. Imagine how strange that must have sounded to someone who had passed away. Saying, "Stand up," to someone who was lying in a coffin dead. The crowd must have thought Jesus was really strange and had gone off his head. But Jesus knew what was going to happen. And so he said, "Stand up." Next thing, this man was alive. What a miracle. How crazy this moment must have been to anyone who was part of this crowd. At first, Jesus said, "Don't cry." Then he said, "Stand up." And suddenly this young man was alive again. No wonder he had said, "Don't cry," to the mom, because he knew that the young man was going to be alive again very soon. Everyone was astonished. Jesus had brought this young man back to life. What happened next was even cooler. This funeral procession that had been going about mourning this young man's death suddenly turned into a great celebration as they celebrated him coming back to life again. How amazing is that? From mourning into dancing and celebrating. The people came to praise God and said how wonderful God was for allowing Jesus to raise this man back to dead. They were all worshiping God for his mighty power through Jesus. In the same way, we are called to follow and care, just like Jesus did. As followers of Jesus today, we need to have the same care and compassion for other people as Jesus had for the widow and the young man that had died. Jesus had compassion and showed that to the woman by saying to her, "Don't cry," because he knew what he was going to do. In the same way, he showed the crowd that we should have compassion on other people when they are sad and when they are going through difficult times, and if we can, we should help them out. Jesus knew that he could show care and compassion to this family by healing the young man, but we maybe can't do that, or we could, but sometimes we can just show that person that we care by saying a kind word to them when they're going to something difficult. Treating others with compassion is a great way of following Jesus and showing care. By that, we show other people that we are followers of God and that this is how followers of God are supposed to live, by following God and caring. Our memory verse for today comes from 1 Peter 3 verse 8, and it says in the NIV, "Live in harmony with one another. Be sympathetic. Love as brothers or sisters. Be compassionate and humble." That's it from us here today at Gap Gracepoint Online. Don't forget, in the comments below, there's a resource link for you to explore the lesson further today. Bye guys, see you next week.